Hey, what's up guys, welcome to tutorial number 3 of the series Unity Shader Graph, and today we are going to see a cool way of generating some procedural flames. That's right guys, it's an awesome shader and it's really useful for a campfire, as you can see, or even some torches, as well as for candles if you want to, and many more objects. This flame effect is done with only one shader, and in this case of the campfire, I also used some particle systems to create the smoke and the particles too. But that's not the main focus of this tutorial. I have other tutorials for that matter in case you are interested. And by the way, everything is available on my Patreon, there's a lot of visual effects there, go check it out, it's really worth it. Anyway, let's see how we can create this shader. In case you need to know how to set up shader graph in Unity, you can watch the introduction video of this series and learn how to install it. Links in the description in case you are interested. Alright, so once you are in Unity, the first thing we want to do is create a PBR shader, and we can rename it to Flame Shader, for example. Now let's double click it to open in Shader Graph. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually change the preview to a quad, just like this. And as you can see, if I rotate this is only one-sided, so let's already switch it to double-sided, just like this. And we can also change the surface to transparent, because opaque won't work with this effect. Alright, cool. Now we can get started in developing our shader, and we are going to start with the basic stuff. And the first thing we need is actually a texture 2D that we can add in the parameters panel, and we are going to rename it to main texture. And we can already choose the texture, and for now I'm going to choose this default particle, which probably everyone has, because it comes as default with Unity. But later on we are going to see how to create a proper texture to make this flame effect look even more interesting. Alright, cool, and now we can drag and drop the property to this area, add a sample texture 2D, spacebar to search it, and connect it to the input of the sample texture 2D. And we can go ahead and actually connect this to the albedo and connect the alpha of this sample texture 2D to the alpha input of the PBR master, just like this. Alright. And now I'm just creating the simple stuff. For example, we can already add some color to this by creating a color property and switching the mode to HDR. And we can choose an orange similar to this one and increase the intensity as well. Now let's simply drag and drop and create a multiply node, so we can multiply the RGB with the color and now replace the albedo. Alright, so very simple stuff, we have the texture and we have some color now. Now comes the interesting stuff. And the flame shader will have two things. One is the distortion effect, the distortion part, and then we will have the dissolve amount, the dissolve part. And there is several ways of creating this distortion effect. To simplify things, I'm gonna use a gradient noise, but you can also use a noise texture. And these built-in noises are great because we can scale them up and scale them down as we wish, and they are seamless as well. Anyway, next thing we are going to do is to make this texture scroll. And we can achieve that with the tiling and offset node, spacebar to search for it, and let's connect it to the gradient noise. But this node alone can't make the texture scroll, and for that we are going to use a time node, which they are always useful in the shaders, and we are going to need a vector 2 so we can multiply with the time, just like this. And now we can connect the multiply node to the offset input. The tiling, by the way, it's to control the scale, which in this case we are not going to need because we can already control the scale in the gradient noise. Alright, cool, and if we wanted to connect this directly to the UV sample texture 2D, we could do it, but it would create a kinda strange effect. It would add too much distortion actually. We need to control the amount of distortion we want, and this time we are going to use a lerp node. Let's also create the UV node because it's going to lerp, it's going to interpolate between the UV node and the gradient noise, which means that 0 will have no distortion. And we can go ahead and actually connect this to A and connect the gradient noise to B. And for this to lerp, we are actually going to use a vector1, which we can add in the properties panel and rename it to distortion amount. And distortion's amount have to be somewhere between 0.1, even lower maybe. Anyway, we can drag and drop this right here and connect it to the lerp. And also connect lerp to the UV input. And as you can see, it's already distorting our default particle. Now let's just add -0.2 in the Y of this vector2 to make the distortion scroll vertically. Yep, looking good. Alright, so the next part, like I said, is the dissolve amount that the fire will have. And for that we can select this vector2, the multiply node and the tiling and offset node as well, which we can copy paste with Ctrl C and Ctrl V, just like this. Now let's drag them down here and connect the time to the multiply, just like this. Cool. So now, instead of using the gradient noise again, we can use the Voronoi. And of course you can also use a noise texture if you want, but this way is simpler and faster for this tutorial. And this time let's make the vertical speed a little bit faster, something like -0.5 in the Y, and we can make it go sideways as well with -0.1 in the x-axis. Alright, looking good. And since it's a dissolve, we need, for example, the power node, where we can connect the Voronoi output to the A input of the power node. And this value will give us control of the dissolve amount, which we will make public in a few moments. Now the fun part is that if we multiply this power node with the gradient noise, like this, we will get a very nice effect that we can also multiply with our main texture, which is looking awesome. It's looking like it's distorting and dissolving. It's really cool. Now we just need to multiply these with the color and that's it. We have an awesome looking fire shader. And yeah, I know it doesn't look like much now, but give it just a few moments when we are going to create a texture. So let's save this and go to the inspector, where we can create a material if we right click on our shader. And for now, let's again choose the default particle texture. Let's just apply this to a quad. Let's add one like this. And now we can drag and drop the material we have created. And it's starting to look like something. But for now, as you can see, we can only play around with the distortion amount. Which means let's go ahead and make some variables public, so we can have more controls in the inspector. And for example, we want to control the speed of the distortion, so let's right click it and choose convert to property and rename it to distortion speed. Let's also do the same for the dissolve speed. Alright, and we can also create a vector1 to control the dissolve scale. And you can add it in the properties panel, rename it, and connect it to the cell density, just like this. And we are almost done. Let's also create another vector1, this time for the distortion scale. And we can connect it to the scale of the gradient noise. Cool. And now the last one, it's a vector1 for the dissolve amount. And by the way guys, all of these vector1s can be controlled with a slider, where you can set a minimum and a maximum if you want. I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to set the default value of 1.2. Anyway, let's connect this to the B input of the power node, and that's it guys. We have the most important controls of our fire shader available in the inspector. And let's just save this before going back to Unity. Alright, cool. Now that we have all of these controls, we just need a cool texture like this one to make this flame or fire effect look more interesting. And it's fine if you have some difficulty drawing stuff, because this is going to be a very simple texture. For example, let's go to Photoshop or to your image editing software, create a new file with 500 by 500, paint the background to black, and create a new layer with Ctrl-Shift-N. And now, in case you are using a tablet, you can use the pen pressure control. But it's fine if you don't have one. We just want the simplest brush with 20% of full opacity, by the way. And I can only give you a few tips, guys, but you can create a really simple texture by drawing the most basic flame like this, and drawing again in the middle, as you can see, and then create some brighter spots. We can also erase the excess if you want, to shape the flame as you wish. And that's it, this simple texture will do the work. Let's just add some outer glow by double clicking in the layer to open the layer style. Turn on the outer glow, where we will need to decrease the opacity but increase the size just to give a subtle outer glow. You can save this as a PNG to your project folder. And once you are in Unity, by the way guys, these are my settings for the shader in case you are interested. Now you can select your quad and choose the texture you just created, and you will immediately notice the difference. And for example, in my case I just want to make the texture a little bit bigger at the bottom, so I go back to Photoshop and draw it, just like this, very simple. I replace the existing texture and that's it. It's just a little bit bigger now. Now, this is the simple texture you can draw and it creates an interesting effect. But, of course, if you want to make something more complex, like this texture, it will give a really cool effect. And it's also easy to create this texture, because you don't need to be very precise in your drawings. After all, it's a flame effect, you know? So, let's go back to Photoshop and hide this layer, create a new one with Ctrl-Shift-N, and now we can draw a more complex flame, like this for example. And now let's do the same that we have done before. Let's make the brush smaller and paint on top of it to create some whiter spots. And always use a low opacity brush, guys. Once that's done, we can use the erase tool to shape our flame again, and then we can decrease the size of our brush and add some more white areas. And that's it. It's looking cool, because we don't need nothing really special. Now if you want, you can create these little spots around the flame. It will look good with the distortion of our shader. And once that's done, you can copy the layer style of the previous flame, like this, and paste to the new flame. And I'm just going to decrease the opacity just a little bit. Alright, so now let's save again this to Unity as a PNG. And once you replace the text that you have created, you will have this cool effect. And you may just need to adapt the brightness. And as you can see, it's as simple as this, and you can create some awesome effects with this shader. Anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Feel free to support me on my Patreon page, links are in the description, and you can get awesome rewards as well. A special thanks to all the patrons that supported me in last month. And that's it guys, see you in the next video.